So we have all the wheels on the lower part, the calipers, and you can keep the rest how you want. Bumpers with bumpers, for example, front, rear, driver side, passenger side, after exhaust. And those lights, I forgot, I'm gonna call them MISC C, just to avoid any error showing when you're gonna export the car. So yeah, that's how you set it up for now. Chassis on the top, wheels on the lower part of the list, and the MISCs if you want to put them right under the chassis. So now, no, I'm not gonna end the video now. I'm gonna do the lots directly before doing anything else. So lots are very important. Normally you can have up to 5 different lots. Those lots are used to have different details on the car depending of the distance you have from it. So let's say that you have a car that's 500,000 polygons. It's something that can be very heavy if you have 10, 12, 15, 20 of them in the same position. You can like because you have a lot of things to show in the same place on your screen. So depending on your PC, it can be very tricky for it to render it with a good frame rate. So to avoid that problem, when you're taking distance, you have different same models of objects but with lower polygons, so it's gonna be like having less details, and you set them up depending of the distance. So L0 is the first one, that's the best detail one, and the L4 is the lowest detail one, so it's the one that's gonna be from a very far distance. The first time you see it appearing on the distance, that's gonna be the L4, and then when you come closer, it's gonna be L3, L2, until you come really close to get all the details shown on your screen. So to do the lots, you need to have a dummy for each of them. Some parts don't really necessarily need a lot. For example, the MISCs, don't really care about them. It's good to make them, but you don't really need it for now. And what I'm gonna do is like having all the parts that need a lot, having their dummy on the top of them. So let's say we have the doors like that, the exhaust, the spoiler don't need it, the wheel needs it, the steering wheel will somehow need it, the exhaust we don't care, bonnet, boot, gonna add them, even if I think that's not really necessary. Whatever. The wheel have it, the hub. Yeah, we don't care about the hub. So to do a lot, make a dummy. Make it the same name as the part you want to have a lot. So this is the object, this is the dummy. And you have to be sure that it's fitting the same axis. So if your axis is lower there, you need to have your dummy on the same position. That's the first thing to do. And let's, even before starting all of this, correct one of the biggest thing that makes all car feeling like shit while you're drifting. It's the actual car position in the world. So I completely forgot about that, I'm sorry. So we're gonna fix it right now. To do that, you select the whole car like this. You don't need to be in polygon mode or whatever. You go to this tool, modify, move. You should have nothing checked. You can have affect children, but you don't really need it as everything is showcased here. And the goal will be, for example, this thing, you can make it bigger on the full screen. You need to have the main line, so it's this one, the y-axis, being between your middle wheel position and the top one. So it's gonna be around here. And I like to have it also in the middle of the front bumper, and somehow all the time I did it, it was on the middle of the front bumper. So you have this dummy as an example, so it's this position. We're gonna move it after anyway, but be sure that this middle line is between the middle of the wheel and the top. So you need to check the y-axis there. What I didn't do, like this, check it. Then you go on the left position, for example, and be sure also that if it's not, that the position are properly showcased. So if it's the left, the car should face the left. If it's on the right, you have to rotate it. And for that, you have to use this tool with only rotate geometry. So let's say that it's not well positioned. What you have to do is like here, left click, say it's a 180 angle with the y-axis checked, so that it's gonna rotate only from the top to the bottom on the 180 degrees. You validate and it's gonna turn. So here it's bad position, but if it's like that and you go on the left view, you have to do it. So it's gonna be back on the proper position. So here, what I was saying, the axis and the world position of the car. So this line should be between the middle of the wheel and the top one. So move, modify, move. You can uncheck everything. And you have the y-axis checked there, or even on the view, whatever view you're on, the y-axis. And you're gonna move it down until the blue line we see there is on the middle. Don't necessarily need to have it completely perfectly positioned on the middle, but that's gonna be a good overall position if it is the exact middle. So here it looks nice to me. So what I'm gonna do is like keep that view, uncheck the move, go to display, reset to world, and just click on the car. So, and I shouldn't have to do that, yep, because the wheels are already proper positioned. First of all, select the 4 wheels, like this. All the other parts will be modified anyway. So we go back to display, reset to world, left click. Everything's gonna be on the middle of the world. This is very important. Don't miss that part of the car. You can like literally flip over when you're gonna take a turn, even if you're not drifting. Like trying to just turn right, it's gonna just flip over. So when that's done, you can now do the load. So we have a dummy, it's called chassis, and we have the object that is a chassis. So what you need to do is go in isolate mode. Go on the dummy. Or no, it's not gonna be on the isolate mode. You just go where the dummy is. You isolate it to be sure. That's the object, it's not this one, it's the dummy. You check the isolate mode. You do convert to compound. Press that lock. Press L0 for the LOD. And you drag and drop the object here on the list. So it's gonna create a LOD, which is the L0 for that object. So the chassis now is on the L0 LOD. So if I go back here and I uncheck the LOD 0, it's gonna disappear because we're saying that it's gonna hide all the LODs there. So the L0 is hidden there. And we basically do that for each part that needs a LOD. Oh, sorry. So we got the bonnet there. Call the dummy the same name, bonnet. You uncheck the LOD, very important. You go on the dummy, you convert to compound, you press the lock, L0, drag and drop the object, uncheck the lock, and uncheck the L0. And you do that for all the parts. Go to compound, lock, L0, drag and drop the object, uncheck L0, uncheck the lock. So the door here, up. I'm gonna name them directly. This is the dummy, like this, up. uncheck LOD, uncheck L0. Again. Be sure that you're not dragging the dummy inside the object, because it's not gonna work properly. It's gonna just make the object disappear completely and you have only the dummy. Exhaust, no, steering wheel. You rename the dummy. The steering wheel, convert to compound, lock, L0, and you drag and drop it there, and you're gonna check both of them. Lastly, the wheel, convert to compound, lock, L0, and you place the wheel, and boom. And something that I didn't do there is that I didn't put back the axis how it should be, so take care of that. It's not very important to do it before, it's just something that can be really tough after to understand if you're not used to that. But here my wheel don't have anymore the axis in the proper position, and you see that I can't select it for some reason. So to remove that little bug, just move it in and out, come back to it, and no, it's not again. Okay, so now it's selectable, so you have to go in any mode, put it on it, and you go back to object mode. So for the axis, you go back in display, center to object, and you just click on the wheel. And you see that the shading is changing too, because it's not reflecting from this position. I think that it's imagining that there is a cone to the axis, and when you put it there, it's just gonna reflect from the middle axis to the outside position. Just a little detail, don't know if you're really interested by that. Okay, so now everything should have a lot, everything that we really take care of. We can delete the other dummies. For now, we don't need it. And the last thing that we're gonna do is like giving a name to our car and putting everything how it should. So this is an RX-7 that's tuned. So what I'm gonna do is just call it RX-7 tune, like this. And the game requires you to have this as the main part of the car. So it's a little like when you have folders. So when you go back in the folders, for example, I have a car. Just imagine that this is a car. So this is the car name, and you have the parts. Let's say that's a part of the car. This is exactly what the game requires you to have. You have a dummy that's gonna be linked to what the car is, so the game is gonna say this is the car, and this will be the first part of the car, so it's gonna be inside it, like this. So you have a car name, and you have the chassis inside, and inside that chassis you need everything else to be. So you have main dummy, car name, chassis, object with a LOD, L0, and then everything else inside. So that's it for the hierarchy setting. You have all the LODs required, and we're gonna hop on the next video to set up every part that need to move properly.